Hi, my name is Donna, and this is another Yoga for You video. So I'm going to invite you to come to a nice seated position. If you feel like you want to elevate your hips up on a cushion or a blanket, please feel free to do so. Make sure that you elongate your back, the spine, shoulders relax, reach up through the crown of the head. And let's take a few moments just to close our eyes. And start to experience a shift in your consciousness, a shift to the present moment. So whatever you may have been doing prior to this practice or any plans you have for after the practice, see if you can set those aside for a while and just move into this moment. If you find that your mind is really active right now, it's jumping around from topic to topic, just bring your awareness to the room that you may be in at the moment. Just feel the temperature of the room on your skin. Notice any sounds that you may hear in the periphery. Allow your awareness to move to your breath. Just observing the inhalation and the exhalation as it moves through the body. Begin to work towards a diaphragmatic breath. As you inhale, feel the abdomen and the ribs gently expand. And as you exhale, feel them contract back in towards the body. Allow the breath to become smooth and even. Side bending or lateral flexion is not something we do all the time in our day-to-day activities, but it can offer a myriad of benefits to the body. Side bending can stretch the intercostal muscles between the ribs, giving us more breathing space. It improves strength and flexibility of the spine, stretching tight quadratus lumborum muscles that can impact our lower back health. Let's just take one more round of breath from here in this space. Exhaling it out fully, allowing the eyes to drift open. I'm going to switch up the technique of breathing or pranayama. We're going to do a little bit of lymph kriya. So inhale the arms shoulder height. Bend the elbows and bring your fingertips just to the tops of the shoulders. Remind yourself to relax the shoulders down. Elbows lift up to either side. Pause here. And we're going to do a little Kapalabhati breath or breath of fire. If this isn't comfortable for you, then don't worry about doing it. It's going to be an inhale and an exhale. All right, so we're just going to move back and forth. Fairly quick breathing. If you don't like the type of breathing I'm doing, just stay with a nice diaphragmatic breath or do it as slowly as you need or want to. Let's inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Keep going. This is a very energizing breath, so I wouldn't recommend doing this technique of breathing before you're going to lie down for a nap or for rest at night. Let's do 10 more. And come back to center. Inhale, both arms up and overhead. Exhale, release the hands down. 2 more times like this. Breathe in and out. 1 more time. Breathe in and breathe it out. Inhale your right arm up and overhead. Start to slide the left hand away from you. And as you exhale, bend the left elbow and move into our first lateral flexion or side bend of the practice. Now, if you feel comfortable for your shoulder joint, roll that right shoulder back, opening up the right side of the chest, and maybe you peek up towards the ceiling or underneath that right armpit. And then inhale, rise up, and exhale, release that hand down. Inhale that left arm up. Slide the right hand away from you, bend the right elbow and move into that side bend on the other side. Roll that left shoulder back. Start to open up the left side of the chest. Gaze up under the left armpit or up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, rise up, and exhale, release. Roll those shoulders a few times. We're going to move into Navasana or boat pose. So if you're having back issues, and you're welcome to keep the feet on the floor, what I really want you to pay attention to is that you're not collapsing into the lower back. So start to lift the center of your chest, the sternum away from the navel center. Sit up nice and tall. Lean back slightly onto the back edges of your sits bones, but make sure you're not rolling onto your tailbone. Hug your inner thighs together or towards midline. Squeeze them in. Lift the chest a little more. Shoulders relax down and away from the ears. I'm just pausing here. I'm kind of giving my body a little note as to where we're going, what's going on. We start to engage. Now you're welcome to leave those toes on the floor or begin to lift those feet off the floor. Breathe here. If you feel comfortable reaching those fingertips towards the toes, you can do so. Keep breathing. Look at your inner thighs. Start to hug them together again. Take 1 more breath here. And as you exhale, set those feet down. Give yourself a little hug here. And then again, lift the heart so the sternum rises. The further the center of your chest moves away from your navel, the more we start to lift out of the lower back. So lift that chest up, hug your inner thighs towards midline, lean back a bit onto the back edges of those sits bones, float those feet up if that's where you're going. Keep lifting the chest, reach your fingertips forward, look down at your inner thighs, hug them together or as close together as you can. That's that energetic action. Keep breathing, lift the chest a little higher, and release those feet down. Give yourself a little hug here. And then last time, I'm going to take this into a little twist. Please feel free to join me if you want. Lift the sternum up, shoulders relax. Lean back a little, hug your inner thighs towards midline, float those feet up. Reach your fingertips towards the toes. Keep lifting the chest. And now reach both hands over to the right. Come back to center. Both hands over to the left. Come back to center. To the right. Center. To the left. Center. Let's do it 2 more times. To the right. Center. Lift your chest. To the left. Center. Last one. To the right. Center, and to the left, and center. Release those feet down, cross your ankles, and rock over those legs. Walk your knees a little wider. The big toes can gently touch, and drop your hips towards those heels. Now, if this bothers your knees to be in this deep of bend or flexion, then your bum might be up a little bit more. Do what works for you. I'm going to make my way down into an extended child's pose. Release your forehead to the mat or wherever it will reach. Plant the hands down, pressing through the fingertips and the knuckles. Find a few rounds of breath here. Keep coming back to that diaphragmatic breath. Now start to walk both hands over to the right. Anchor your outer left hip back and see if you can place your left palm on top of your right hand. Now breathe into that space that you've created in the left side body. Take one more breath here. Begin to make your way back through center. Walk both hands over to the left. Anchor your outer right hip back. Place your right palm on top of your left hand. And take a moment as we breathe into that space we're creating in the right side body. Take one more round of breath from here. And begin to make your way back through center. Shift forward to tabletop or all fours. If you need to cushion your knees, please do so. Root down through the hands. Set the hands up for your first down dog. Draw your front ribs and abdomen in and curl your toes under. Now figure out where your armpits are in relationship to your body and wrap your armpits slightly in towards the body. You'll see your inner elbows gently start to turn slightly forward, okay? From here, let's shift back and begin to rise up to our first down dog. Now take a moment here and move around. Get comfortable with your dog, whatever that means for you. It doesn't have to look like my dog. It needs to be your dog. And once you move to a static dog, meaning a dog that you're holding relatively still, draw your front ribs in, draw your belly in. Use your hands, press back so that you're driving the energy, the strength into the hips and legs. Breathe here. Take one more round of breath from here. And then release those knees back down. Come right back into a child's pose, but this time plant your elbows onto the mat. Bring your palms together in that Namaste position of Anjali Mudra. Drop your forehead to the mat and let the fingertips reach to the ceiling. Take a few breaths here and see if you can breathe into the space in your upper back between the shoulder blades. And then release the hands. Set yourself up once again for your down dog. Curl your toes and press back. Now we're going to take a little twist here, so let's shorten our dog. Walk your feet just a couple inches closer towards your hands. Keep pressing back so you're feeling a nice stretch to the backs of the legs. As long as you feel stable, press down through your left palm, lift your right hand up, thread it through, and reach for somewhere on the outside of your left leg. Then slowly begin to peek under your left armpit towards the ceiling. And then release that right hand down. Take a moment to feel stable. Pressing firmly down through your right palm, lift your left hand up, reach to the outside of that right leg. Begin to peek under that right armpit. Little twist here. Steady breathing. And then release that left hand down. Wiggle those feet back a bit further. Long dog here. And then gaze forward towards the top of your mat and step, walk, or lightly jump forward, coming into your forward fold of Uttanasana. Put a micro bend in the knees as you drape your torso over your thighs. Allow the crown of the head to become heavy towards the earth. Allow the sits bones to become light towards the ceiling. Slide your shoulders away from your ears to stay connected and to create space in the back of the neck. Inhale to a long spine, so the hands may choose to come to the shins or fingertips on the floor. Start to lift your heart and stretch it forward towards the wall in front of you. Belly continues to draw in and shoulders continue to slide away from the ears. Fold forward. And then inhale, find the length first. Add the arms and rise to stand. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Release the hands down. Find mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bow forward to the earth. Inhale, lift your heart and lengthen your spine. Exhale, step back to downward dog. Root down through the hands, pressing the fingertips, pressing the knuckles. Inhale your right leg up behind you, trying to keep your hips and pelvis level. Exhale, step that right foot through into a lunge. If it doesn't come through on its own, grab hold of it, pick it up, and carry it through. Drop your hips a bit and lift your chest. Gaze slightly forward. Belly draws in. Take your left fingertips and reach them to the wall in front of you. Gently pull back on that left hip a little bit more, creating length. And then release the left hand down. Now reach the right hand up, draw back on that right hip, and then start to revolve open towards that right wall. Try to roll the shoulders onto your back. Keep hugging that right outer hip back. One more breath, and then release your right hand down to the mat. Step your right foot back, down dog. Inhale your left leg up, maintaining a nice neutral pelvis. Step your left foot forward into a lunge. Hug that outer left hip back. Drop the hips slightly as the chest, the sternum rises. Breathe here. And now reach your right fingertips forward towards the wall in front of you. Pull back through that outer right hip, long side body. Release the right hand down. Reach your left fingertips forward. Pull back through that outer left hip. And then begin to revolve open. Continue to hug the outer left hip back. Shoulders roll onto the back. Breathe here. And as we exhale, touch down. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Uttanasana. Inhale. Lift the heart, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart, long spine. Add the arms and rise to stand. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And release the hands down by your side. So finding your mountain pose. Breathing. Just stay where you're at. I'm going to just turn towards the camera for a moment. Inhale that left arm up and overhead. Bend the left elbow and reach for the center of your back, that upper spine, the thoracic spine. Now take that left arm, grab hold of the right elbow. Encourage it to move in towards the face or midline, and then encourage it to move towards the wall behind you. All the while, my right fingertips are reaching down my spine. So hopefully we're feeling a nice stretch along the right tricep muscles. Press your skull back a little. Make sure you're not pressing your head forward. Breathe here. Now if you can hold on, if not, you can release that left hand to the back of the skull. Inhale, find a little bit more height here. And on your exhale, start to bend to the left. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, release those hands down. Inhale that left arm up towards the ceiling. Bend the elbow and reach to the center of your spine. Take your right hand, grab hold of that left elbow. Encourage it to move in midline towards the body. Then encourage that elbow to move towards the wall behind you. Press your skull back until you find a nice stretch along the back of that left tricep or the back of that upper arm. Keep breathing. Now inhale, find length. And on the exhale, bend to your right. So getting a nice stretch along the left side body. Keep trying to press the breath. I know it's a little harder to breathe deeply here. Then inhale up and exhale, release. Roll those shoulders, shake it out a little bit. Finding mountain pose at the front of your mat. Breathe in, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bow to the earth. Inhale, lengthen the heart, long spine. Exhale, step back to plank position, top of your push-up. Firmly through the hands, push the floor away from you. Draw your front ribs and abdomen in. Lengthen your tailbone in the direction of your heels and try to reach the crown of the head forward. Keep your gaze slightly forward of your mat as we lower down. If you'd like to drop your knees first, begin to bend your elbows slowly, keeping your chest lifted, the gaze lifted. Inhale, curl up into your version of cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you. Exhale, step it through. Release your left knee down to the mat. Rise up onto that right knee. Lengthen your tailbone down towards the earth. Lift your chest and crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach your left fingertips up. And on your exhale, drop those right fingertips towards the earth and come into a little side bend. Now, if this bothers your back at all, back it up a little bit. Otherwise, nice side bend here. Keep breathing. Now, inhale that right arm up as well. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. Curl your back toes and float that left knee up. As we hug that right hip back, begin to rise again. Reach those hands up towards the ceiling. Fix your gaze on something in front of you. Continue to hug your outer right hip back. Now release your right fingertips down by your side. Inhale, find length along the left side body. Exhale, a little side bend. So I'm pressing my right hip towards the left as I bend to the right. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. Step your left foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart, rise to stand. Exhale, bow forward for the second side. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, step back, plank position. Press the floor away from you. Feel your body become lighter, moving towards the ceiling. Inhale, shift forward on the toes, gaze slightly forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, curl up to cobra or up dog. Exhale, meet back and down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through, lunge. Release your right knee down to the mat. Walk up onto that left knee. Lengthen your tailbone down. Lift your chest, crown of the head up. Reach your right fingertips up to the ceiling. Feel yourself rooting down through the right knee, right hip, reaching up through the right fingertips. Now release those left fingertips in the direction of the floor. Inhale here. Exhale into a little side bend. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, release the hands down. Curl your right toes under, float that right knee up. Firm through the hips and legs. Inhale, rise up, both arms reaching. Crescent pose, Anjaneyasana. Hug that left hip back. Breathe in here. Release your left fingertips down by that left hip. Reach up through your right fingertips and another little side bend. Keep breathing. Inhale, both arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, release your hands down, step forward. Uttanasana or forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lengthen, add your arms, rise to stand. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Find a steady breath here. Release the hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, plank position. Breathe in. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step it through as the left heel spins, warrior two. Inhale, rise up. Make sure that your right knee's tracking right over the right ankle and that inner right thigh is rolling open. Find the breath here. Be strong through the feet, strong through the legs. Now release your left hand to the left thigh. Spin your right palm open and think of lengthening through the right side body. So start to slowly reach up. Stop when the fingertips are facing towards the ceiling. Stretch more, drop your right sits bone a little lower. Now if you want, start to reach towards the wall behind you. At the same time, commit to the bend in that front knee. Take a breath here. Now come back to warrior two. We're gonna flip it around. So I'm gonna rotate my right toes in, rotate my left toes out. Release your left forearm to your left thigh. Drop your left sits bone and wrap the left sits bone under a little. Lean back. Now creating length in the right side. Reach your right hand up. Roll that left thigh open. Start to slowly reach your right hand towards that wall behind you or towards your left. Roll the right shoulder open. Look up if it doesn't make you lose your balance. Take one more breath here. Look down to your left big toe. Touch down in a lunge at the back of your mat. Step back plank. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, bhujangasana. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step it through, lunge. Spin your right heel down, warrior two. So find your alignment. Roll that left thigh open. Be strong through your back leg, which right now is our right leg. Release your right palm to your right thigh. Spin your left palm open. Slowly start to reach up and pause when the fingertips are reaching towards the ceiling. Check in that both shoulders have rolled open onto your back. Now, as we take it back in our reverse warrior or peaceful warrior, commit to the bend in your front knee. Long side body. Make your way back to warrior two. We're going to switch. So straighten your left leg, turn the toes in. Right toes turn out. Side angle pose, Parsva Konasana. Right forearm comes down to that right thigh. Roll it open. Lengthen your side body first. Reach your left fingertips up to the ceiling. Now drop your right sits bone a little lower and start to reach the left fingertips forward. Breathe. And now slowly make your way back to warrior two. Release your hands, straighten your right leg, and turn the toes in a bit. So our wide angled forward fold or Prasarita Uttanasana. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the chest, roll the shoulders and elbows back. Lengthen your tail down. And as you exhale, begin to hinge forward. Long spine, releasing your palms or fingertips to the mat. Inhale, rise to your fingertips, long spine. Now pause here with a nice flat back. Slide the shoulders back, away from your ears. Draw your front ribs and abdomen in towards the spine. And think about a long side body here. Can you maintain length in your side body as you start to bend the elbows and fold forward? Bring your hands to your hips, roll your shoulders and elbows back. Inhale, come halfway up, long spine, and rise to stand. Take your time. Now pivot both toes out a little bit. We're going to take our goddess squat. So make sure that your knees track the center of your ankles. They're not rolling in on you. Begin to bend. Only come as deep as you feel comfortable, dropping the sits bones down and the chest lifts. Inhale, your right arm up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up and exhale the right hand down, sit deeper. Inhale that left arm up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale up. Exhale that hand down, sit deeper. Start to rise up and sit deeper. Rise up and sit deeper. One more time. Now come forward. We're going to pivot towards the front of the mat, touch down into a lunge. Step your right foot back to meet your left plank position. Rock forward on your toes, gaze forward, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, curl up, cobra. Exhale, press back, down dog. Check in with your front body, lift it up. Find long side body. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Spin your back heel down. Bring your right hand to your right ankle or shin. Start to straighten your right leg. Now bring your left hand to your left waist. Begin to wrap your right sits bone, your right buttocks under, as if you're reaching your tailbone towards that left heel. Now both shoulders roll back and start to lean the back of your skull back. Can you find more length through both side bodies? So the right side body tends to be a bit more compressed here. If you need your hand up higher, just don't lock out your front knee. Reach your left fingertips towards the ceiling. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Now turn your left palm forward and slowly take your time and start to reach towards the wall in front of you. Feel like you're pulling your outer left hip back. Take one more breath. Look down to your right big toe. Touch down into a lunge. Now, walk your right foot back a little so the toes are facing off to the right wall. Roll onto the pinky toe edge of your left foot and flex the foot strongly. Flare the toes. Begin to revolve open in this modified side plank, reaching right fingertips towards the ceiling. Now, if you want full Vashisthasana, bring your right hand down. Stack your feet. As your hips move forward, reach up. Reach the right hand forward, long side body. Touch down into plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, curl up. Exhale, meet back and down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through, lunge. Spin your right heel down. Bring your left hand to your left ankle. Slowly start to straighten your left leg without locking it out. Wrap your left buttocks under, reaching the tail towards that back foot. Roll that right shoulder open and reach that right hand up. Now think about length through both side bodies, particularly your left side body here. Turn your right palm forward and slowly start to reach to the front wall. Now look down at your left big toe. Touch down to a lunge. Start to pivot your left toes towards your left wall. Roll onto the pinky toe edge of your right foot. Instead of sinking down, lift up. Roll the chest open and reach. So modified side plank, or bring your left hand down. Take your time, stack your feet. Flare your toes back towards your ankle. Bring your hips forward. Roll your shoulders back and reach up. Turn your left palm forward, stretch it. One more breath, and touch down. Press back to down dog. And then shift forward, lower all the way down to your belly. Stack your hands, make a little pillow, and rest your forehead. Slow the breath. Feel that diaphragmatic breath. The belly's gently expanding into the mat. And then walk your inner thighs together. Point your toes directly behind you. Bring your hands to frame your chest. Shoulders roll back, elbows hug in. Now pressing down through the tops of the feet. Pressing down through the pelvis, lift your chest up. It's not going to come very far, shoulders back. Pause here and see if you can float your palms off the floor. One more breath and release. And let's roll onto our backs. Knees are bent, feet planted. Rest your palms down by your hips. Allow your eyes to close or just gaze up at the ceiling. Find the steady breath here. Now make sure your feet are inner hip distance apart. Walk your heels in just a little closer towards your sits bones. Press down through the backs of your arms so the triceps are pressing down. And as you press down through the arms, lift up through the hips. Lift your chin slightly away from the chest so that you maintain a natural curve in the back of your neck as we move into this bridge pose. Take one more breath here, and then slowly lower down. Pause. Now, if any of you really want to go into a full wheel pose, a full back bend, you know you are welcome to do that at any time. I'm going to do 2 more bridges. So I'm going to press down through the backs of my arms. As I press down, I'm going to rise up. Wiggle your shoulder blades together to get a little bit more lift. Feel as if you're pushing your feet towards the bottom of your mat. Lift higher, and then try to pull your heels towards your shoulders. That's going to engage the hamstring muscles, backs of the legs, and glutes a little more. Then let the shoulders spread wide, and vertebra by vertebra, release yourself back down. Find a steady breath. And let's do that one more time, or if you have a variation you want to practice, please do so. I'm going to root down and rise up. Wiggle your shoulder blades together, get more of a lift. Now push your feet towards the bottom of your mat, lift higher, and then once you're there, maintain that action and try to pull your heels towards your shoulders. So this is all isometric work. Nothing is actually moving, but we feel the difference, that sensation of engagement. Now let the shoulder blades spread and slowly lower back down. Pause a moment. Take your arms out wide. Begin to heel toe your feet wide on your mat. And let's windshield wiper those knees a little. Come back to center. Extend the legs out along the length of your mat. Let's roll back onto our bellies. Make a little pillow. Take a rest for just a moment. Just notice any sensations that arise. And then bring your hands to frame your chest, shoulders back. Start to lift up and press back to child's pose, Balasana. And let's make our way up and take a seat. Whoa. Shake out those legs a bit. Now take your right leg out to the right and bend that left knee and plant that left foot. I'm going to keep my right foot very active, or a Barbie foot, as I always call it. Lift through your chest. Now take your right hand, reach it over and grab hold of somewhere on that left ankle or left leg. Lift up, lengthen, and just begin to twist to your left. Just act as there's something really interesting going on over here on the left side. Look over there. Inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling, and you could stay here or start to do a slight bend. Maybe you bend a little bit, or maybe you start to bend all the way over, reaching for those right toes. Find the breath here. Try to roll the left armpit open, left chest opens a bit towards the ceiling. Take one more breath here. Inhale, lead with that arm, lift up and rise up. And then just release that left knee down and out to the left. Keep your right foot active, breathe in, lift your chest, and as you exhale, hinge forward. You might not come very far to maintain a nice long spine, or some of you might choose to come all the way down. Connect with that steady breathing. And then one more round of breath here. Slowly begin to rise up. Bring that right leg in and take that left leg out. Active left foot. Plant that right foot with the knee bent, knee towards the ceiling. Breathe here. Now take that left hand, grab hold of the right ankle or leg, wherever you can reach. And I'm going to bring the right hand behind so I can lift and just look off to the right. Check out what's going on. For me, not much right now. And then inhale that right arm up and either choose to stay here, or if you want, you can move into a full side bend, lengthening that right side body. Roll your right armpit open, chest rolls open towards the ceiling. One more round of breath here. Then lead with that right arm. Inhale, rise up. Release that right knee down. Bring your hands to center. Inhale, long spine. Stay here or take it forward to whatever degree works for your back. Steady breathing. One more round of breath here. And then begin to rise up. And this time extend that right leg out as well. Do your best to get your sits bones to move back and the front of the pelvis to start to tilt forward a bit. Now, if the backs of your legs, your hamstrings are really tight, that's probably not even going to be an option for you. So you can elevate the hips, give yourself a little more space, bring the legs in a lot more narrow, or even choose to bend those knees. Entirely up to you. Feet stay very active, chest lifts. Shoulders are relaxed. Now you might choose to stay right here or bring your hands down to the floor in front of you for support. Maybe walking the hands out. If you feel comfortable coming all the way down, you can go there. If you're coming all the way down, watch that the toes don't start to roll forward and the knees don't roll forward. Try your best to energize the toes up towards the ceiling. Kneecaps up towards the ceiling as we come forward. It's going to give you a greater sensation of stretch through those inner thighs, those adductor muscles. Take one more round of breath here. And start to make your way back upright. Bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. If your knees are riding high, just due to tight hips, you can always place a cushion or a block under the knees. Glue the outer edges of the feet together, the pinky toe edges of the feet, and if you want, you can let the inner edges of the feet open up like a book opening. And then try to energetically press down through your inner thighs. I'm not going to use my hands to press. I don't want to create any stress in my knees. I'm going to start to press down. As my inner thighs press towards the earth, lift your chest, the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. This may be enough work for you right here. This may be where you want to stay. If you feel like you want to hinge forward, bring the chin in towards the throat to maintain a long cervical spine or neck. Some of you might feel more comfortable moving the feet further away from the pelvis to give you more space to fold forward. As you fold forward, gently draw the lower abdominals back in the direction of the spine. Let's take one more round of breath from here. And then lengthen up right back into that seat. Bring those inner thighs together and extend those legs out. Shake them out a little bit. And then press through the mounds of the big toes, all right? So push through the mounds of the big toes. Try to sparkle your toes so they're a little more active. Sit up nice and tall. Shoulders relaxed. You can leave the fingertips on the mat for support, or the hands can come to the thighs. This pose is referred to as staff pose or Dandasana. Now we've been working this whole class on lengthening the side body. So think about reaching up and create more length along your side body. Sit up as tall as you can. Lower abdomen gently draws back in the direction of the spine. Let's just take a couple more breaths here. I invite you to close your eyes. Just turn inwards. Listen to your breathing. See if you can sit up a little taller. And then open the eyes. Leaving your right leg extended, draw that left foot in. Bring your left hand back behind your sacrum, your lower back. Push the floor away from you to lengthen. Shoulders roll onto the back. Either hug your right knee in towards midline or hook your elbow and create resistance. So I'm resisting. I'm pressing my elbow into my knee into my elbow, long spine. Draw your belly in and slowly start to twist to the left. Watch you don't let your head just dip forward. Draw the back of the skull back like you're leaning it up against a wall. Think of long side bodies. Take one more breath. And then slowly unwind. Extend that left leg. You're going to bring that right foot in. Bring your right hand behind you. Roll the shoulders back and press yourself into a longer spine. Hug the knee or hook that left elbow. Create resistance between the elbow and the knee and the elbow. Inhale to a long spine again, and exhale, begin to twist. Maintain this sensation of long side body. Inhale again here, and exhale, unwind. Extend that right leg, shake it out a little, and we're going to take it onto our backs. Reach your hands forward, engage through your core as you control your descent down to the mat. Once we're down, just pause a moment. Find the breath. And now pointing your toes towards that wall in front of you. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, as if you're reaching towards the wall that's behind you. Take your left fingertips and encircle your right wrist like a bracelet. Inhale, lengthen your right side body. And then as you exhale, start to tilt your upper torso slightly over to the left. Now, if you want, you can walk those feet slightly to the left and make a little C shape if you'd like, a little crescent shape. Now I'm going to walk my feet back to center, slowly return my upper body to center. Right fingers encircle left wrist. Inhale, left side body long. Start to tilt your upper torso to the right. If you'd like, walk your feet slightly over to the right. And then I'm going to bring my feet back to center first. Bring my upper body back to center and release my hands down. Start to bend your knees, draw them in towards the chest. Rock yourself a little side to side. Now hold on to your knees, keeping your inner thighs together. Start to draw some circles on the ceiling with your knees. Let's go one more time around, and then reverse direction. And then come back to center. Start to take the knees wide and flex the feet. If you would like, you can slide your hands behind the knees and just kind of hug those knees in towards the armpits, working at pressing your tailbone down towards the mat. Or you can reach up, grab hold of the pinky toe edges of the feet, and find a happy baby, Ananda Balasana. Keep working your tailbone down and seeing if you can maintain a natural little curve in the lower back. Relax the shoulders down in the direction of the floor. Now, if you want to add a little rock to your baby to make it happier, you're welcome to do that. If this does not make your baby happy, then stop doing it. And then come back to center. Bring the soles of the feet together. If you can hold on to the feet, allow those knees to open wide. Coming into this Viparita Sutta Baddha Konasana, or this bound ankle pose on our back with the legs lifted. And then allow the inner thighs to come together, a little hug. If you're comfortable rolling your forehead to your knees, stretch out the back of the neck, relaxing the shoulders. And then release the head down, taking length with you. Gently drop your head from side to side. Like that little no. I've had enough, I'm not doing anymore. One leg at a time, begin to extend it out. Let the feet come wider on your mat. I like to arch my upper back slightly off the mat, roll my shoulder blades together to give myself more space across the front of my chest, the fronts of my shoulders, as I release myself into my final resting pose of Shavasana. Start to become heavier. Relaxed. Imagine that your arms are weighted. Your shoulders are weighted. The legs and the feet are weighted. Find a softness in your abdomen. Feel a melting in your heart space. The eyes are closed. The tongue is relaxed within the mouth. Just taking a moment, feeling open to all possibilities. Understanding that you've put in the effort today. You've done the work. We begin to assimilate and reap in the benefits. These benefits may be just physical, or mental and emotional as well. Whatever you need, you draw from your practice. Whatever you don't need, you leave behind. Stay here and enjoy your Shavasana for as long as you need or you want. I thank you for taking the time and sharing this practice with me. I hope you enjoyed it and go on to enjoy the rest of your day. The light within me shines to the light within you. Namaste.